Good evening. Oops, let me turn this down. Good evening. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Frank. My call is W8VPV, but for this presentation of Newsline, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Following is a QST, a prototype radio telescope, has a milestone moment. Hams in India help bring a troubled young mother back home. And a typhoon ends the flight of a well-traveled Pico balloon. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2538 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, amateur radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, here's Stephen Kenford, N8WB.
Radio astronomers are celebrating a milestone, the first capture of signals by a prototype radio telescope in New Mexico that will eventually succeed the very large array of the U.S. National Science Foundation. Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, has those details.
A proposed new antenna array being developed will be massive, consisting of 244 antennas and stretching more than 8,045 kilometers or 5,000 miles. Tests of his prototype recently attracted attention for another reason. The new next-generation Very Large Array radio antenna gathers signals for the first time, a key moment for the design that is expected to provide higher sensitivity and spatial resolution than the current system. Working alongside the 27 antennas of the VLA, it tracked the Crab Nebula and the Sun, and it observed the bright galactic nucleus known as Perseus A. The National Science Foundation's National Radio Astronomy Observatory sees promise in its ability to go beyond the capacity of the current Very Large Array. The test in the New Mexico desert was conducted in collaboration with the current VLA, which was built starting in the 1970s. Its encouraging results mark the prototype system's transition from being a project under construction to a tool capable of making independent observations and conducting astronomical testing. It is expected to form the basis for the eventual 244 antenna array. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
An antenna installation is always filled with promise, especially for any group involved in providing emergency communications or support for community events. There's a new antenna going up in Angelina County, Texas, and Ralph Squillace, KK6ITV, tells us what's going to happen next.
Members of the Texas Amateur Radio Club have been serving the community since the club's creation in 1978. They have passed crucial emergency traffic to the Angelina County Emergency Operations Center and from there to the State Operations Center in Austin. In one of the group's most high-profile activations, hams provided support during the recovery efforts after the Columbia Space Shuttle broke apart upon re-entry in 2003. According to local media reports, operations are about to improve for the radio volunteers as a new antenna gets installed on the center's tower to provide local, regional, and statewide communications with new VHF, UHF, and HF capabilities. In addition to providing on-site support for major community events such as festivals and bike races, the club and its members will now be even more prepared for whatever kind of need comes its way. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITV.
Sure, the cyclists of this year's Tour de France are fast, but what's even faster than these elite athletes? HF signals being sent by numerous clubs and groups wishing the competitors well as they pass through their region starting on the 4th of July. Jeremy Boot, G4 NJH, has those details.
The route of this year's Tour de France cycling race passes through 37 towns and cities. 10 of them are new to this legendary race that has endured since 1903. Through it all, from the start in Barcelona to the finish line on the Champs-Élysées in Paris, cyclists will be making contact with local people who will watch and cheer them on. Even if you're not near the route, you can still cheer them on by contacting any number of special event stations organized by the Réseau des Émetteurs Français. Whether the cyclists are crossing a hilly or a flat region, propagation is expected to enable contact with TM00TFR, TM40,
TFR, TM42, TFR, and similar stations in many of the regions. For details of these stations, their operating modes, and diplomas available, visit the QRZ.com page for TM00TFR. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
6 months after it sent its last signal, NASA's Mars Maven spacecraft has ended its run in space. Travis Lisk, N3 ILS, has that story.
Since 2013, the project known as MAVEN, for Mars, Atmosphere, and Volatile Evolution, was on a mission to study that planet's upper atmosphere, ionosphere, and its interactions with the Sun. The spacecraft's signal was lost on the 6th of December after a pass behind the red planet, prompting NASA to immediately begin a review of what actions the agency would take next. At a media teleconference earlier this month, officials declared MAVEN to be no longer useful and said there would be no attempts at recovering it. Although MAVEN's original mission was to last only a year, it proved useful for more than a decade beyond that period as it continued to transmit data, even serving as an antenna during the delivery of the Perseverance rover to Mars in 2020. Preliminary findings of MAVEN's failure determined that its batteries may have drained, shutting down its communications system when it emerged from its orbit behind Mars. A review board is studying the mission to discover the cause while NASA decommissions the MAVEN program and archives its data. This is Travis Lisk, N3 ILS.
In India, a 30-year-old mother of 2 boys whose life has been marked by family tragedy since childhood has been returned to her village with the intervention of amateur radio operators. We hear her story from Jim Meachin, ZL2BHF.
Already traumatized by a number of tragic deaths in her family, a young woman suffering from mental trauma has been returned to the home village in Uttar Pradesh that she wandered away from 5 months ago in apparent confusion and grief. According to media reports, the woman, Usha Devi, had stopped talking coherently shortly before her disappearance. Usha had been troubled for most of her life by a series of deaths in her family, beginning with the incident in which her father was hit by a passing train, a death that she witnessed. Relatives told police that the recent death of her husband this year preceded her disappearance by several weeks. Like her father, her husband was fatally struck by a train in an incident she also witnessed. The Hams had been told by police that the woman had been found in the care of a shelter home for her mental trauma, where she was taken after having wandered on the streets of West Bengal for some time. The Hams connected with their contacts in Hindi-speaking regions and across several states, reaching out through numerous amateur radio networks until relatives could be located. Usha recognized family members during a video call arranged by the club. The club secretary, Ambraj Nag Bisvar, VU2JFA, told Newsline in a text message that Usha returned to her village on Friday, the 12th of June. This is Jim Meachin, ZL2BHF.
The Radio Club of America would like to recognize outstanding achievers in the fields of radio and wireless technology, and the deadline for nominations is the 30th of June, and it's approaching fast. If you know of someone devoted to preserving the history of wireless, consider sending in their name for the Ralph Thatcher Memorial Award. If you would like to honor someone whose contributions to the field have advanced electronic communications, submit their name for the Sarnoff Citation. The club will also be presenting the Wireless Innovation Award to someone who has developed a groundbreaking product or concept. There are also 2 business-related awards, the Excellence in Sales and Marketing Award and the Wireless Small Business Award. Visit the website radioclubofamerica.org. That's radioclubofamerica, one word, .org for more details. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the AH6LE repeater in Beaver Creek and Wilsonville, Oregon, on Sundays at 6 p.m. local time. Ham radio operators in Texas have adopted an open source service that has gained popularity among many hams running or checking into nets. Kevin Trotman, N5 PRE, tells us what's happening and how you can get involved.
It was a race against the calendar to keep the service known as ham.live on the air, while it's made the transition to an open source model at the end of this month. With so many amateur radio net participants relying on it for net logging and real-time chat, the June 30th deadline loomed large. Now it's been picked up by an open source service by the Saxy Amateur Radio Club, N5SAC, which is asking fellow hams to help beta test its operation on a new server. Keeping communications going under challenging circumstances is a specialty of this group, which comprises both the Saxy Races and Aries teams. To help with the effort in testing ham.live, visit their website at saxyraces, that's spelled SACHSERACES.org. Other hams or individuals wanting to develop and run ham.live for their own activities can visit the link on GitHub that appears in the text version of this week's script at arnewsline.org. This is Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
When you are a world traveler making your way across 53 countries and more than 6 laps around the globe, there's no shame in meeting your match and your demise at the hands of a typhoon in Japan. Jim Davis, W8VPV, explains.
The little Skytracker Pico balloon enjoyed a triumphant launch by Sky Academy students and the Englewood, Florida Amateur Radio Society in February. It carried the call sign N4EAR-1 and a lot of hope and ambition as it soared, communicating via APRS. That is, until it met the Category 1 storm known as Yangmi over Japan on the 2nd of June. Its journey of 153,468 miles, or 24,689 kilometers, ended there, 103 days and 14 hours after it had first began. There was loss, yes, but no grief. As Club President Bill Reed, K7WWR, wrote in an email to Newsline, and I quote, "It was a great weak signal learning experience and a great kickoff of our STEM support of Sky Academy, and a great learning experience for the students," end quote. The flight of the little balloon not only launched the school's STEM program, but the partnership with the Amateur Radio Society. From here in Florida, I'm Jim Davis, W2JKD.
In the world of DX, special event call sign DQ40CNP is on the air through the 11th of July, marking the 40th anniversary of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster. The special activation reminds the public that during the challenging times, hams in what was known as the German Democratic Republic, or East Germany, were able to use their stations to assist with public health needs during the crisis. Members of the Emirates Amateur Radio Society are on the air as A60PC through to the 30th of June. Other stations will be active as A60PC/0 and A60PC/1, and so on. The special event represents pride and loyalty to the UAE and its humanitarian values. To mark the 90th anniversary of Akashvani, also known as All India Radio, the state-owned public radio broadcaster in India, BU3YBH is active as AT90BANI until the 16th of August. The station is operating using FT8 and SSB on the 20, 15, 12, and 10-meter bands. Listen for Seraph VU2RS operating as VU4R from Port Blair in the Andaman Islands, IOTA number AS001 in July. Seraph will be active from the 22nd through the 27th of July and will participate in the RSGB Islands on the air content. Listen for him at other times on 40 to 10 meters, where he will be doing mainly SSB. For QSL information and other details, see the pages on QRZ.com for each of these call signs. Our final story takes us to Canada, where a broadcast radio station celebrated its 100th birthday by helping out on the amateur radio side of the radio spectrum. John Williams, VK2JJW, tells us how it happened.
The newest centenarian in town of the Lethbridge Senior Citizens Organisation in Alberta, Canada, is attracting a lot of attention. The organisation, which serves adults aged 55 and older, focuses on recreation, well-being, nutrition and education, as well as providing support to older area residents in their homes. The new 100-year-old newcomer will be reaching out to the community, if not the world. Radio station CJOC 94.1 FM LSC. The club predates its partnership with the broadcaster. It was established under a different name in the 1970s inside the senior centre. Its shack is a museum of sorts, displaying vintage equipment that provides a visual narrative of radio history. This new effort in the digital age is anything but backward-looking. It has a promise from the commercial station that it will promote the ham's activities through its social media channels and on-the-air coverage. CJOC-FM is also supporting training efforts to involve more people in broadcasting as well as amateur radio, as its second century of radio begins. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, AMSAT News, Bill Reed, K7WWR, David Behar, K7DB, 425DX News, IEEE Spectrum, KTRE, Lethbridge Herald, MSN, NASA.gov, NBC News, QRZ.com, shortwaveradio.de, Times of India, Universe Today, Wireless Institute of Australia, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen E. Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, N8WB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2026. Amateur Radio Newsline retains ownership of its material even when retransmitted elsewhere. All rights are reserved.
This is W8VPV, and this concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Our VHF-UHF net will start on this repeater in about 12 minutes. W8VPV. Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF-UHF net. My name is Frank. My call is W8EZT, but for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call, Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open, directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and to keep our members up to date about current club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We'll start with some announcements and ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest for the club. Once that's complete, we'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, please. I'll confirm those call signs before moving on to the next. Once I've got 5 check-ins, I'll work those and go back, and we'll get 5 more. We'll repeat that process until finally check-ins slow down, then we'll start taking them one by one. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize your call sign. If not, please give me your call, repeat it phonetically, followed by your name and location. When all check-ins have been worked, I'll repeat the announcements and then close the net. We also operate an HF plus 6 band exploration net starting at 9:30 p.m. after this net. The approximate frequencies are posted on our webpage and will be announced on this repeater immediately prior to 9:30. Tonight we'll be on 80 meters, somewhere around 3.827 megahertz, depending on QRM and band conditions. The exact frequency will be announced, as I say, on this repeater just before 9:30. If you have the privileges and the equipment, we encourage you to join in. Alrighty, announcements. Of course, this coming up is Field Day weekend, that one annual event, North American event, where hams go out and set up radio stations in public locations and attempt to contact each other via voice, Morse code, and digital modes. We, of course, are participating. We've got a packing session going on tomorrow. As a matter of fact, we'll be loading one of the trailers with the mast poles and other equipment needed for the field day. Wednesday, we'll be at the clubhouse loading equipment from there, sorting, packing, and loading. We'll also be testing out some new antennas. We're going to try an end-fed long wire antenna, random length antenna, I should say, and we're going to try to do a pair of those and align them horizontally so they don't crosstalk much. We want to test them out and make sure the tuners can tune them, so we're going to be doing that Wednesday. We may also have a Zoom session going for anybody who needs last-minute information on field day. Friday, starting about 5 p.m., we'll start proceeding to Silver Springs Park, Groundhog Hill, setting things up, and we'll finish that setup Saturday morning and hope to be on the air fully operational by 2 p.m. Of course, Sunday we need to tear it down, so if you participate, please come on back Sunday and help us pack everything up. Also, if you are good with a camera or even a cell phone, please come on out and take pictures. We need pictures of the setup, of the operations, day and night, and of course the teardown. These are the pictures that bring back memories that we can post in our clubhouse and put in the newsletter. Of course, speaking of newsletter articles, we're coming up on the publication date for the July newsletter, so if you have an article, please finish it up and send it to our newsletter editor. If you have pictures from field day, I'm sure he would appreciate those. So please consider doing that. And finally, Thursday at 6:30 p.m., we have a VE test session going. This will be at the Cuyahoga Falls Public Library, downtown Cuyahoga Falls. It'll start about 6:30. We need you to be there about 15 to 20 minutes early to get registered and set up and everything. If you're planning on getting your amateur license or upgrading to beyond whatever you have now, by all means, this is where you're going to want to do it. All right, that's all the announcements I have. Do we have any club members or officers or anybody with announcements of general information? Come on now.
W8VPV.
Go ahead, John.
Yes, regarding the band exploration net, next Monday is the 5th Monday, and so I'll be the net controls station for this net and also the band exploration net, and it will be on 24.972 megahertz upper sideband on the 12-meter band. This is W8VPV back to the net.
Very good, John. I always look forward to those because I don't use my antennas a lot on some of the non-work bands or the work bands, so it'll be fun. Look forward to that. Do we have anybody else with any other announcements of general information? All right, John, I got you checked in. You're number one on the list, looking for 5 more check-ins. Go ahead now.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
All right, Vince, I got you in next.
KD8VYT.
Russ, I got you in there next.
KPU.
Larry, I got you in there next. Any more check-ins for the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday Night Net?
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Echo Papa Bravo.
All right, Brian, I got you in there. Any other check-ins?
8 KVI, in and out.
KE8KVI, got you in and out. Ron, thanks very much. All right, we got enough to start with. Let me head back to the top. Go ahead, Vince.
Good evening, Frank, and everybody else on the net. You took the wind out of my sails, sails out of my wind. You announced the request for newsletter articles. That is the greatest thing you could have done, and that's all I have, except I have an idea. Somebody else in another venue decided shack pictures. Well, they were show us your shack. I'm looking for one a month. Just give me a picture of your radio setup, your favorite radio, and a brief description of what you have and what you like. That's all I have for the net right now. I'm going to put that in the newsletter and see what happens. AC8XO, back to net.
All right, Vince, just to clarify, what you like is the mode you like to operate, I guess?
What you like about your equipment. You got a 7300 and you are fully in love with it. You've got a Kenwood, a Yaesu, a Flex, and you can't live without it. That's what we need to know. That's what I think the rest of our club would need to know, what people are doing and what people like. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's something different. AC8XO, back to that.
Sounds good, Vince. I'll see what I can put together there. So, if you heard that, what equipment do you have and how do you like it? And this is an excellent opportunity for a new ham that may have just upgraded in general and is now considering what kind of an HF rig they want to make some decisions about either getting something like that or staying away from it. And along those lines, by the way, even though you may be a technician, you can still come out and watch field day. You can help set up. You can see the various transceivers in action. And as long as one of us is there as a control operator, you can get on the air and operate that piece of equipment. So that'll give you an excellent opportunity to do side-by-side comparisons of maybe, let's say, an Yaesu FT710 to an FTDX10 or something like that. So definitely think about coming on out there. Thanks, Vince. Appreciate that. KD8VYT. Go ahead, Russ.
Good evening, everyone. Speaking of people that might want to buy a radio, I happen to have one for sale. I have an HF plus 6 meters. It's a Yaesu 450. I need to sell it because I need to replace my Kenwood 711, which I used to transmit the Newsline on. It died last week. So if anybody knows anybody that needs a radio, it's pretty good shape. It's clean. Got the microphone and the power cord, and I haven't had it. It's been in a case for a few years, but the last time I had it hooked up, it was working. So I'm looking to get $400. If anybody's interested, I'm going to give out my phone number, so be ready to cop.
Go ahead, Russ. no, I don't know what happened. KD8VYT, Russ, are you in there? Well, I know he's got a brand new radio he's working with now that replaces his 711 that went belly up, so maybe that radio's acting up on him. We'll come on back to you. Russ, anytime you want, do a recheck, check back in, and we'll get your phone number out there. All right, next up, Larry, K8PU. Go ahead.
Thank you, everybody on the net. Yeah, sorry I won't be able to do anything for field day this year. I'm on this pulmonary situation with oxygen, and first one was 75, so 51 years. I had some activity in most of them, not all, but will miss it. Might get out to look around a little bit. I have to carry that thing around with me, but can't really help out this year. So I regret that, but many good memories to look back on, and can't feel too bad about all the others, but it was fun. Anyways, Frank, can't do 80 meters either. Don't have that up anymore, but let you get out the net and catch everybody next week. Back to your W8VPV, K8PU.
All right, very good, Larry. And I have many, many, many good memories of you. If nothing else, up on a ladder, attaching the beam to the top of one of our rotatable towers, getting ready to haul that thing up in the air. You were Mr. Attach the beam because you were about the tallest guy in the club, and you could get up there and attack it. So thanks for all your help, and if you feel like you can make it out just to come out and look around, I'm sure there'd be a lot of people out there that look forward to seeing you then. And obviously, we've always got good food out there. So thanks, Larry. Appreciate that. Look forward to talking to you next week. Next up is KF8EPV. Brian, go ahead.
Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is Kilo Foxtrot 8 Echo Papa Bravo. Good evening, Frank, and everyone on the net. I hope everyone's doing good. As far as radio goes, I've been messing around with some antennas, trying out some new stuff, trying to get a 6-meter antenna up for a meteor scatter, and made another end-fed half-wave to 49-to-1 transformer, and threw that up over my house so it's oriented north-south instead of east-west. I'm going to see if that makes any difference. But other than that, Frank, if you're still interested in getting rid of that old radio, let me know whenever you want to do it. I'm free just about any time, and you want to do that. And with that, I'll send it back to net. This is Kilo Foxtrot 8 Echo Papa Bravo. Have a good night, 73.
All right, very good, Brian. And absolutely, yes, your name is on the radio. It's just one of those things. I have not had a chance to do anything between heading down to Dayton and now with Field Day coming up back to back. But right after Field Day winds down, I'll definitely give you a shout, and we'll haul that thing out of the basement. And it and any other documentation I have is absolutely yours. I just appreciate it. I'm happy that it's going to somebody that has some interest in it. It was a project many, many years ago for my dad, and then for me, and then I never got anywhere on it. So very good. I'll be very curious to see if you get it going. All right, let's see here. K8KVI Ron was in and out, so I'm at the bottom of my list. This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night, VHF, UHF net. Looking for check-ins. We'll take them, let's try one at a time. Call signs, we seem to have a slow night tonight. It is a nice night to be outside. Looking for check-ins.
KD8VYT recheck.
All right, station in there on the touchtone standby. We had somebody that dropped out earlier. I want to finish up. Go ahead, Russ. We were waiting for your phone number.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, why it went off, but my phone number is 330-524-9175. That's 330-524-9175. KD8VYT 73.
Very good, Russ. And that is for Yasu FT450. He needs to unload it so he can go get a replacement for another radio that apparently went belly up on him. So if you're interested, by all means, give him a call. All right, looking for other check-ins. Go ahead now. Okay, I hear somebody in there. They're accidentally hitting touch tones as they go, and they're real noisy. So may I suggest either trying to increase your power, find a higher location, and try to stay away from the DTMF touch tone buttons on the mic. Give it another try. Okay, I am sorry, you're in and out of the repeater. There is a lot of touch tone activity. I suspect maybe your radio has, there's a Yaesu protocol where it sends out a tone and does not transmit through the microphone for about 4 seconds or 3 seconds. If that's the case, push the button, wait about 3 seconds, and then speak clearly, and we'll give it one more try. If that doesn't work, all I can suggest is try more power and or a higher location. Give it a try. Push the button, wait about 2-3 seconds, and then give me your call.
K8HMS.
K8HMS. Gotcha, Steve. Good to hear you in there. How you doing?
Frank, just doing what I can. I'm on the 440 side. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. You're coming through loud and clear. A little bit of noise, but we copy. You got a full copy. Go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, just glad I tried to check in last week, couldn't get through. Anyway, just wanted to say hi to everybody. The best rig I ever had was my FT2000D, but don't have it now. But thankfully, John, W8VPV bought it, so it's still here. So went to somebody that I'm sure will take good care of it. Yeah, I might check with Russ. I'd like to have some kind of HF rig to use or borrow or something, since I'm still hanging in there. Break for time. Anyway, still your thing. So anyway, back to you, and good to hear everybody. W8VPV, K8HMS.
All right, very good, Steve, and maybe we can come up with something here. We've got a Go box. The club has a Go box built around IC706 Mark II G that has been sitting in the clubhouse for 2-3 years now and doesn't get a lot of use. Maybe we can loan it out and get it set up at your house, and that'll work or something. So let me talk to Anthony about that, and we'll get back to you. And you, of course, will be missed on field day this year, but we'll be talking about you, and hopefully we'll get a card passed around. So take care, stay warm, and enjoy, and hopefully get some more airtime in there. All right, that's it. Looking for the next check-in. This is W8VPV. Okay, someone in and out of the repeater 2 or 3 times. I could not copy any voice. You might try the 440 side, 444.85, 449.85, but I could not catch you on the 2-meter side.
November 7th, whiskey. 7.
All right, I got sounds familiar. Is that maybe Bill? Go ahead.
doubled with you.
Okay, go ahead again. The November 7 Whiskey Station. Go ahead with the rest of your call. I think it might be Bill.
November 7 Whiskey Alpha Mike. Bill in Macedonia.
All right, Bill, I got you in there. Whiskey Alpha Mike, you're on the log. Appreciate you checking in there. And don't worry, we have some replacement cables for the repeater that we're going to be getting ready to put in up there. It's not going to happen until after field day, but it will happen soon thereafter, and that hopefully will make the VHF side of this a lot easier to get in there. Thanks for taking the time to stop by, Bill, and if you get time, please consider stopping by field day. It's always good fun. If not our club, check out another one in your local area. All right, looking for more check-ins. This is W8VPV.
This is Kilo 8 Bravo India.
Okay, back-to-back bills. We're taking them one at a time, so go ahead, Bill Mayhew.
Good evening, Frank, and everybody else on net. Just wanted to stop in and say hi. Didn't have anything special going on here. Hope everything works out real well for an enjoyable and pleasant weather for field day. And that's about it. So, W8VPV, this is KATI.
All right, Bill, thanks for stopping by as always. I probably won't be at lunch Friday. I'm going to be doing last-minute plans and packing for field day, but we'll see what we can do then. Looking for more check-ins. This is W8VPV.
W8VPV, please copy Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Tango Alpha. Jeff, New Franklin.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Tango Alpha. Good signal out of New Franklin, Jeff. Coming through loud and clear. I don't know what you've got rig and power and antenna-wise, but I've got a sister out in New Franklin who's a ham, and I'm going to try to get an antenna up for her in the next couple of weeks, and I hope it'll sound this good. How are you doing this evening?
Doing just fine. I'm just running, what is this, Yaesu 150 ASP on 5 watts of power on low. I got that antenna on the roof. That's gonna be the big deal. That's just I can't. It was a G3 or something like that. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys one for the net and say thanks for everything you guys do. You got a great club there. Anyway, back to you guys. KF8 DTA.
All right, Jeff. Well, if you're getting in with 5 watts, that's almost a record. Very good signal, just a slight amount of hiss in the background, but essentially full quieting and darn good signal all the way up here in Cuyahoga Falls. So must almost be high spot to high spot down there. Anyway, thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Hope you can join someone at field day. If not us, some other club in the area. By all means, check them out and see how they do things. It's kind of a lot of fun. All right, this is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club. This is our Monday night VHF UHF net. I think I've got about 10 or 11 check-ins, so I'm looking for another one. We'll keep going until I run out. Go ahead now. All right, we got a little pause here. I'll go ahead and do the announcements and take one more pass of check-ins and then wrap it up. It's always tough to get a good night on a nice summer night, even if it is overcast. It's nice and cool, a great day to work out in the yard, I have to say it was. All right, coming up, of course, this weekend is Field Day weekend. This is a North American event. It's not a contest, but it is an exercise in deploying radios in somewhat of an emergency or a field configuration. It's a great chance to show off the hobby to everybody else, and I hope you're getting involved in some club and some activity for Field Day. Leading up to that, Tuesday, tomorrow, Anthony, John, and I will be loading up the trailer with mast poles and stakes and ropes and all that good stuff. Wednesday, we'll be up at the clubhouse loading up our equipment there. And we have some good news for those of you who are tracking us in the clubhouse. The Lions have cleared out the other bedroom. CVT is moving in there, so we will have a full storeroom to our own. And that should give us a lot more room and a lot more area to store things rather than wall-to-wall equipment right now. So that's working out real good. Thursday at 6:30 p.m. we have a VE test session at the Cuyahoga Falls Public Library downtown. You want to get there early, about 6:15 or so, to get signed up and checked in. A great way to either get your ham license if you don't have one or upgrade. Sign up is required. You can go to our site, CFARC.org, and click on Get Your Amateur Radio License, and you'll have a chance to sign up. Friday evening, we will start with our field day setup. We expect to be getting out there on the field by about 5:30, 6 o'clock. We'll work as long as the weather cooperates, and then shut down for the evening, and then resume Saturday morning, and by 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon, we will start with continuous 24 hours of field day operation. And those of you out there, I certainly hope you can join us. We'll need teardown help Sunday, so appreciate it if you, even if you show up Friday just to set up, come on back Sunday and help us tear down. If you're good with a camera or a cell phone, we need pictures. We need pictures of setup, we need pictures of operation, we need pictures of teardown. We just need fun pictures, so please consider coming out and taking some pictures there. And of course, as Vince said just a minute ago, we need some newsletter articles. In addition to field day newsletters, if you have a particular transceiver that you're very happy with, write a little article about it, what it is, what you like about it, what maybe you don't like about it, and let us know how you like it. All right, that's everything I've got for announcements. Let me go back here and check and see if we have any more check-ins. This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night VHF UHF net. All right, I think that's just about it. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up then. I do appreciate all of you checking in. In preparing to close this net, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been Frank, W8ECT, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. Just a reminder, we do have a band exploration net. We call it the HF plus 6 net. It will be on 80 meters tonight, somewhere around 3.827 megahertz. I'm going to go warm up the radio and look around for an empty spot now. We will announcement on the VHF repeater just before we start the net, right around 9:29 or so. So if you've got the equipment and the privileges, look forward to hearing you on 80 meters tonight. This has been Frank, W8ECT. My pleasure hosting this evening's net and our band exploration net coming up. I will now close the VHF UHF net with 11 check-ins, myself included, and return our repeaters to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9 p.m. Local time. 73 all. See you on 80 meters in about a half hour.
W8EZT, KD8VYT.
Go ahead, Russ.
Yeah, I've got my HF rig tuned to 3827 right now. It's looking pretty clear. I'll pay attention to see what frequency you're going to end up on, but I mean, I'm going to try and check in. I don't know if I'll be able to hear you or not. So just watch out for me. KD8VYT.
Alrighty, let me get my radio on. I'll check around and keep monitoring the repeater here for a couple of minutes. Maybe we can get a pre-QSO in to check things out. W8EZT